Steel is expected to report its Q4 FY13 numbers. On the whole, we expect improvement in the bottom line as well as top line, largely aided by strong performance of its domestic operations. Talking first on the domestic operations, in the domestic operations, we expect the top line to increase by 21% to 114 billion. The top line jump is largely led by a 30% jump in sales volume. The new capacity which it had commissioned last year would lead to a 30% jump in sales volume on a YOY basis. However, the impact of this on top line would be somewhat negated by the 6 to 7% decline in realizations. So overall, we expect standalone revenues to be higher by 21% to 114 billion during the quarter. On the operating front, we expect operating margin to increase by 13% YOY to 33 billion. This would be largely led by higher volumes. On the EBITDA front, EBITDA per ton is expected to decline by around 2,000 rupees on a YOY basis. But if you look at on a Q on Q basis, we expect an improvement of around 1,200 rupees. The improvement would come from a decrease in raw material cost for the company, largely due to coking coal cost. On the bottom line, we expect the company to report a bottom line of 17.6 billion, which is 13% higher on a YOY basis. On the console level, we expect top line to be around 365 billion, which is 7.4% higher on a YOY basis. The jump is largely from the standalone entity. For Chorus, we expect volumes to be lower on a YOY basis at 3.25 million tons. On the operating front, we expect operating profit of 36.3 billion, which is 15.8% higher on a YOY basis. We expect Chorus to report around $10 per ton of EBITDA per ton during the quarter, which is an improvement from previous quarters. On the bottom line front, we expect the console entity to report a PAT of 4.7 billion, which would be excluding the one-offs like the sale of Titan, the written down of its goodwill is excluded in our estimate. So the adjusted PAT we expect at 4.7 billion, which is 9.3% higher on a YOY basis. We have a buy rating on the stock, and we expect the domestic operations to boost the overall earnings of the company. We have a target price of rupees 360 on Tata Steel.